Back in the 1960s, my mother Aleene and her designers developed some super cool creative techniques using aluminum foil. By scrunching it all up and applying it to all sorts of surfaces, you could create the look of forged metal. In celebration of our vintage theme on today's show, my sister EcoHeidi is here to share a look of forged metal box.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you a really fun technique. It's a vintage technique from Mama Aleene. It's taking aluminum foil and making it look like it's forged metal. It's fun, it's easy. Let's get started. This definitely has to be one of my favorite vintage techniques. Taking aluminum foil and making it look like it's forged metal. This is the box I'm going to show you how to do, of the technique I'm going to show you how to do. And notice this texture right here. I'm going to show you how to do that, get that texture so it looks like it's forged metal. So the first thing that you need is you need some aluminum foil, and you're going to scrunch it up. And don't put it into a ball because it's kind of hard to get it out of the ball, so just kind of scrunch. And then open it up a little bit. And then I take a brayer and I just roll it out. And you could take a jar, you could take anything that would, just a rolling pin, just something that'll roll it out. Now if you want more scrunch, just kind of go back again. And then again, roll it out, and you're ready to cover a box or whatever your project is. Now, I'm doing a small box. This is just a small wood box that I got at my craft store, and so be sure that you, when you scrunch your foil, that you scrunch it where it's large enough to cover your box. So I start with my lid, and on top of my lid I'm putting this corrugated cardboard. It's one of those hot sleeves from one of the coffee. This one's Starbucks. See? And you're going to glue it down on the top of the box lid. And just put a little bit of glue. Press it in onto the box. Now this is what's going to give us that dimension. And let's say you want to do something, you want some other ideas for dimension. There's always like this wonderful trim, a trim that has like a little bit more texture. Or look at this one here, this really thick cording. You can also use like clothesline. You can use lace. You could even use washers, metal washers. You could use the nuts and bolts, and you could use jewels. So look around, start looking around for things that you might want to use. You know, I could even put like a couple of these right here for a little bit more texture. Give me like that forged look that we're looking for. Okay, so now I'm going to put glue all over the top. Looks like I need a little bit more glue under there. And then I can actually take a brush and kind of brush it into the grooves. But you also don't want it to fill up the grooves so that you can't get that texture. And I want some on the sides. Okay, the foil has a shiny side and it has a dull side. So I'm going to put my glue side against the dull side. And I'm going to start pressing. You can help it with a pencil. You can also help it with a Q-tip. It's for all this wonderful texture from the corrugated cardboard. Can you see that? Oh, doesn't it look great? Oh, I love it. Now I want to start to push it around the edge. And you're going to have to trim the corners. And anywhere that you want to push it down onto the box, if you use a pencil, something that'll push it in. And then I would put more glue inside. Put some glue on this, trim it a little bit so that it'll fit. And then do all the other sides. Remember, you put glue around. I want to be sure before we run out of time, excuse me, of time that I show you how to paint it. So I have my foil on, and now I want to make it look like it's been forged or antiqued. So I just have some black acrylic paint here, and I'm just going to brush it on. I'm adding a little tiny bit of water to kind of help paint it on. And while it's still wet, you're just simply going to take a paper towel and wipe off the excess. And you can take as much as you want off. If you take too much off, you can always go back and put more on. I'm going to put a little bit on the sides. And let's take a look, like right over here in this corner. You can kind of tell that it needs a little bit more. And there we have our top. I'm going to bring this one in that's finished to show you what I did on top of the box after I have it all finished. I took another piece of that corrugated cardboard. I painted it black with a little bit of rub and buff gold around it. And then I have all kinds of really cool vintage buttons. There's a vintage clock here. And then I also put beads on for my legs. And it makes a really sweet metal looking box for just pennies. Isn't that fun? Thanks everyone.